Has another fire sale started in Miami? All signs point to yes. After starting the season 9-25, it seems like new president of baseball operations, Peter Bendix, has decided that he's seen enough to prove that last year was a fluke and begun yet another teardown. Now, as a lover of all things baseball, I feel for Marlins fans, as this has been the trend every few years. Regardless of ownership, old or new, the formula has remained the same. Trade away top-tier talent for prospects, develop said prospects into top-tier talent, make the playoffs out of nowhere, be on the cusp of something great and gets fan excited, trade away top-tier talent for prospects. Wash, rinse, repeat. It's the Marlins' tale as old as time. Or as old as 1997 to be exact. It worked the first few years as they got 2 World Series rings out of it. Lately though, not so much. The first domino to fall this time is current NL batting champion, second baseman Luis Arraez, having been traded to the San Diego Padres in exchange for a reliever and 3 prospects. Outfielders Dylan Head and Jacob Marcy, first baseman Nathan Martorella, and recent Korean import right-hander Woo Suk Go. San Diego also got a reported $8 million in the trade, so the Marlins are essentially paying the remainder of Arraez's contract for this season. While the prospects acquired have either first-round pedigree, like Dylan Head, or have put up good numbers so far in their minor league careers, Marcy and Martorella, at the end of the day, they're still prospects. While a trade can land a team a John Smoltz or Jeff Bagwell, they can also end up with a Delman Young or a Clint Frazier. And with Arraez gone, the big question is, who's next? Aside from him and lefty reliever Tanner Scott, no one else has played particularly well so far. Scott is earning over $5 million this year, making his trade a near foregone conclusion, one that will likely net the Marlins a few pieces as long as he continues pitching the way he has. But other than him, no one else has really impressed this year so far. Jazz Chisholm, Tim Anderson, Avisail Garcia, Jesus Luzardo, and Josh Bell are the other notable players with salaries into the millions, and even though they haven't played well, those said salaries are more than enough for the Marlins to try and probably trade them. Out of all of them though, Garcia is unlikely to be traded though, as his contract is, well, it's an albatross, and one that no self-respecting team would touch even with a 10-foot pole. Of the other 4 though, one could argue that Chisholm is the most talented of the bunch. While his 2024 numbers so far have been below his career norm, it is still early in the season, plus he's young and he's just entering his prime, and he's performed well when healthy. Now, teams might balk at the thought of surrendering top prospects given his injury history, as well as his attitude problems. But considering he's under team control through 2026, maybe paired up with another piece, an acquiring team might be willing to part with some exciting prospects. Jesus Luzardo should be on his way out too. The 26-year-old is currently injured, but when healthy, he is one of the best pitchers in the Miami rotation. He has pitched well in South Florida since he was acquired in 2021 from Oakland, but aside from last year, health has been a consistent issue for the left-hander. Now, barring him turning into Clayton Kershaw or Warren Spahn in the next couple months, it's unlikely he will net the Marlins more than one top 100 prospect. But if he's able to get back to full health and pitch well leading up to the trade deadline, his upside and 2+ years of team control might be enough to convince a team to give up some good pieces for him. Lastly, Tim Anderson and Josh Bell. I figured I'd touch on them together as they are similar players in that they both have put up strong numbers in their careers, but have struggled the past couple of years. Anderson was an all-star as recently as 2022, but last year had a season to forget. He batted .245 with 1 home run and 493 at-bats, and ended up having to settle for a 1-year, $5 million deal with Miami. Unfortunately for him, so far it's been much of the same this season. Meanwhile, Bell was crushing it in 2022, but became a shell of himself after being traded to San Diego at the trade deadline, hitting .192 down the stretch. And even though he faded away in the final months and in the playoffs, he was still able to land a 2-year deal with Cleveland, but was traded to Miami just a few months into the deal. He played better after the trade, but so far this year, he's been more of the player that San Diego and Cleveland fans saw than the one that put up good numbers in both Pittsburgh and Washington. While both are on the wrong side of 30 now, they are still less than 3 years removed from being forces at the plate. And if they can rediscover even half of that, I'm certain teams will be willing to part with some decent talent to get those bats in their lineups. There are others that will likely be traded this year when it's all said and done, as I doubt anyone is truly untouchable in this organization right now, outside of maybe Yuri Perez or Sandy Alcantara, but these 5 I mentioned make the most sense considering the money they're currently making. It's a shame and sad to witness this yet again. Watching the Marlins dismantle yet another promising team on the verge of something special, and for their fans to have to say goodbye to their favorites, all in the name of saving money. Perhaps that might change someday, and star players will spend 10 plus years wearing Miami's colors. One can hope. But for now, all we can do is look on as another Miami fire sale has begun. Thank you so much for watching. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on my thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed the video, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of my new content. I'll catch you all next time here on the Baseball Blues.